number 1. Wow. You know, I mean, Machine gets up at third base so quick. You know, we saw EG.Control try to deny it there as much as he could, but the third finally went up. And a few little attacks there with those Zealots, and that actually put EG.Control ahead. He was able to stay ahead. The Infestors coming in a little bit too late, not really able to help because they didn't have much of a ground force, and that means that EG.Control takes game number 1. We're going to take a quick break. We return. Game number 2 here between EG.Machine and EG.Control. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Welcome back to the most evil genius competition here between EG.Control and EG.Machine for 3rd and 4th place. Our game number 2 is underway, so we're going to be jumping directly into it. Thanks for joining us here on OneMoreGame.tv. I'm DJ Wheat. Let's introduce our players. You know, in the last game, I really felt like he had the early advantage with his macro. He was able to at least temporarily deny a third base, but unfortunately he decides to run a lot of his units into the main of his into his opponent's main, and as a result, really didn't have any units for the follow-up attack. We've got, as the pink Zerg in the northeast, EG.Machine. And in the southwest, we've got the red Protoss taking game number 1 in this best-of-5 competition on this fine Sunday afternoon. Get up for EG.Control. Hopefully you guys stayed safe yesterday if you were in the Midwest. It was crazy tornado sounds season, a day of tornadoes. I saw the fronts of houses ripped off. Thankfully, all we had was a lot of rain. We did have those 45 to 55-mile-an-hour gusts of wind that were just absolutely crazy, but I was too busy at the casinos where my wife was the big winner, taking away a $193 jackpot during penny slots. Good job. Good job. We came out even. We came out even. But who's going to be gambling here today? Someone in chat earlier between that last game said, you know what, I wish I could find out. I'm paraphrasing him, of course, because I'm sure he said it maybe in a much more negative way. Oh, the probe gets taken out. What? Man, hero drones here. Someone said, you know, why did EG.Control actually, instead of going for a third Nexus, actually go for a Dark Shrine? I don't know. I can't read minds, but it's a good question. I think that he must have been that confident that, you know, he still had the Warp Prism in play. So the Warp Prism was just doing Zealot harass. And we do have the Nexus first after the Forge. I guess the Nexus isn't first if it's after the Forge. Forge Nexus into cannon. There we go. Yeah, so I suppose for that reason, are we going to have some shenanigans back here? We got Lings coming out. Are Lings going to check? They are going to check in the back. And good on him because there is a pylon back there. He did not get the block down. So this is actually kind of bad for EG.Control because he didn't block the first. The Lings got out, the Natural's almost done, and the third will most definitely go up. In fact, is he going to try to put a pylon there? It almost doesn't matter because with the Lings out, it'd just be a waste of a mineral. So the pool's up. See here, he's already got 16 drones, 17. He's going to be able to transfer a few of those drones on down, and there we see the third going down. So the fact that he did not actually get to block will play into Machine's favor. He's not having to deal with here and here, which means that you can saturate a little bit better because you could send drones down and then, you know, start building in respective areas. Of course, as the third, it always means that you're just going to have to be ready to defend this when the time comes. But both these players very, very understanding of those timings. So we'll just have to see how how Machine decides to deal with this. But EG.Control, he might have to play much more passive now that he was not able to get any sort of block or deny or delay on those initial hatcheries. Cybernetics core going down. We're going to have, obviously, a Zealot coming out as probes will be chrono boosted from that Nexus right now on both sides. 28, 27 worker count. And just drones coming out of Machine. You already see the +1 underway here for Control with his initial gas after the Psy-Core. Get Warp Gate immediately, like there, kind of immediately. So we have drones now moving over. The third base is up. In these situations, you know, this is kind of common. You know speed's not going to be up. You know they're not going to have roaches for a while. So you send some Zealots out. You try to do a little bit of harass. And typically the Zerg's going to pay for that a little bit. They're going to either be forced to fight with Lings, fight with the Queen, possibly fight with some drones. And now we have these two Zealots out. So they're going to clear the towers, which is always great. Get rid of that vision. And then maybe make their way down to the third. Now, they don't have to commit to anything, and they might just try to take their side of map control. Because, of course, once speed is done, there was enough Zerglings out. You know, obviously these Zealots become hazardous to their own health. And look at, we've got this, there, that Zealot is going to be caught. He's going to try to make it to the back wall. And he's just going to try to get away. Oh, he's just going to go ahead and try to hightail it out of there. And is he going to run away to the mineral patch? I guess he goes. There he goes. Finds a nice little choke. And this Zealot, meanwhile, is going to go around to the bottom side. Okay, enough about this Zealot fun. Let's see what's happening here inside the mains. We've got a Robo Facility almost immediately finishing up. +1 almost done. Has that Roach Warren popped down? Yes, it has. Lair has started. And it looked, there we go, the Evo Chamber as well with +1 Carapace. Again, so this is the second time that Machine has chosen to go with Carapace. And, you know, I've seen the threads. I've heard people debate it over and over. You know, what is the best way to go? Should you automatically go with Carapace to try to, like, counteract that +1 that the Protoss is going to try to get? And here we go. There's that first Zealot inside. And this is not even going to be a threat. It's more of a scouting Zealot at this point. If there's nothing there, you know, sure. You know, a lot more you can do. So the nice thing about the Carapace is that getting it for both the Roaches and the Zerglings mean that as larger Zergling numbers are, of course, going to be much more difficult to deal with. We've got a Twilight Council over here as well. So we're probably just going to have more Immortals coming out. But what is the Twilight Council going to be for? Just blink? Assuming he's really ready for any sort of an Overlord scout to come in here. And Ling speed has actually not even begun yet. Did he forget that? He's just waiting. He's already getting Burrow and Roach speed. But he's staying on Ling speed. Huh. I don't know. Very interesting. So taking out these rocks inside the middle, try to keep a close eye on what's going on. And I mean, we've got nothing but units coming out here for Machine. So this could just be a brute force attack here. And this Observer is going to at least catch... Nope, he just catches the fringe of those units. He might watch a lot more coming in. Is EG.Control ready for this? I mean, the Lings could be rendered pretty useless. We still got more Roaches. Their Ling speed is completed. I mean, the greatest thing that you could possibly get right here is some sort of a run-by with the Lings and the Roaches forcing an attack. But even if he force fields this area, which he might actually do right now, he's going to start doing damage on these Roaches. There, the front door is knocked down. Looks like EG.Control trying to get that third up much quicker than he did last time. Going to have his force split into two. Love this maneuver right here by Machine. In fact, he cancels it. He cancels it knowing that this could be a possibility. And this is where it actually gets kind of bad for Machine. He's going to force a fight at these units at the front. He just pokes forward, and he does trap a few of those units. It's not a huge amount at the cost of 5 force fields, but he's going to see this other group from the back. Now, he's got to be very careful for how he goes back and forth here, because he cannot let one group sort of surround him, flank him. Meanwhile, we've got +2 weapons. Blink's almost done. A macro hatch up for the Zerg. Blink about ready to finish. But, I mean, honestly, well, we're up to 6 gateways. He should be good on that. Now we've got Ling speed as well. Here we go. A double-pronged attack. And look at those force fields. I mean, those actually were very, very good force fields. These units completely rendered useless. All they can do is attack those pylons over there. A lot of Roaches stuck in the middle. Here we come from the back, but one cannon does manage to get up. He's going to try to focus fire these Immortals. No, the Immortals not getting focused down. We've got Stalkers in the back who now have Blink, and they completely take care of everything there. I mean, he's left over with sentries. 3 Immortals make that 4. We've got a ton of Stalkers as well, and here the 4th base has gone down. But once again, is Machine going to find himself in a situation of really not having the units that he's going to need in order to defend here? We have nothing but Lings coming out yet again. And against this force, I mean, there's not as many force fields there, but if he gets rid of these Roaches, he's going to be in a whole lot of hurt. There's really going to be no meat to defend his base as well. EG.Control could just push forward. Here comes that big swell of Zerglings. There's a bunch more Roaches over here. He's just got to be careful not to overextend. And this big group of Lings is going to go in. First focusing on the cannons, and then we have a warp in inside. A few managed to squeeze through there, but not a whole lot. Once again, Machine saves his base from utter destruction with a quick warp in there. And then we're going to have an attack up at the top. Roaches attacking from all sides, but between force fields and great control of these Stalkers, I'm really impressed with how EG.Control is playing right now. I mean, all of these moves that he's made have been, they've kind of been life-saving. The Ling run-bys with the Zealot warp in, you know, splitting his group perfectly so he can attack the Roaches up here and still deal with what's going on here. He dealt with the double flank very, very well, as we had units coming from here and here. And now we've got Machine saying, I've got to continue to deny this third. He's going to find a wall of gateways. Uh-oh, here comes the Protoss army from the back. If EG.Control gets a solid flank here, and Machine's not going to let it happen. A blink forward. He's still going to get a couple of kills here. And even with this 4th base, there's only 4 drones there. The 3rd looks to be completely saturated, but there are just not enough. I mean, Machine's just dedicated. Look at that, 50-some Lings coming out right now. He's pooling, continuing to pool larvae, up to 9, 12 larvae right now. But there are just a lot of Lings. The hive is underway. He's getting his pathogen glands. +3 weapons is coming up right now for the Protoss. And EG.Control, I mean, EG.Control getting his 3rd base established, going to Colossus Tech, obviously. You know, do we even have a Spire yet? We got the double Evo up, but we got no Spire, going directly to Hive. Then maybe he's going to put a Spire down. I feel like putting that Spire down. Now, here we have a few Zealots going out to deny this 3rd Oh, Spine Crawler, if only you actually weren't a transparent version of what you will be. And there it does go down, but that Spine Crawler is going to go up and then down. Overlord spotted and killed. Oh, wow. And just the fact that you have to pull back your whole army to deal with something like this is really... It just, you give up so much map control. It allows the Protoss to maneuver around. And if this fourth base goes up for in control, I mean, actually, it might be good for Machine if in control were to wait for it. The first Colossus is out. We've got some infestors, a lot of infestors right now. So he's got a much better ground force than he had in game number 1. It's all going to come down to how he decides to use this. Now, Machine absolutely cannot be throwing away these units. He's going to attack a couple of Stalkers here. Quickly moves back once he sees that the Colossus... There we do have a double Spire going down, so he can go ahead and upgrade while morphing to a greater Spire as well. Some Lings caught off guard. Those will get taken out, but that is okay. Does he have Burrow? There, he does have Burrow. More Spine Crawlers going up. And this is going to be a very crucial location here. I mean, Machine getting these Spine Crawlers up is going to be big for him because it will allow him to sort of get his Broodlord force started right here along with these infestors. It forces his opponent to fight into a choke. If he comes over here, it's not as effective, but obviously with the rocks here, and look at this. That's exactly what In Control is going to do. There are literally no Corruptors out quite yet. Adrenal Glands on the way. +1 Carapace for air. There's a good fungal, but unfortunately nothing to do the damage or additional damage to those Stalkers. More fungals being dropped off, but he's got to be careful not to lose those units. We have 10 Corruptors on the way, and really fungal is just keeping Machine alive. Oh gosh, what the hell is keeping Machine alive right now? I'm so sorry about that. I have no idea what's going on. And there, that base goes down. I mean, that was just unfortunate timing. Here we finally get the Corruptors to come out. The ground army has pretty much been cleaned up here, and we will see Machine stop this. But unfortunately, Machine wanted to stop this about 30 seconds ago. He lost a lot of his ground force. We will see all of these. Oh my god, these Corruptors aren't even doing anything right now. Meanwhile, we have a Warped down here at the bottom. If this fourth base goes down, that of course delaying Machine by a ton. Oh, some Obi's getting caught in the middle. And right now the supply 115 for Machine. 144 for In Control. We've got +1 air carapace. The greater is done. Look at this. Nexus going down. Nexus going down. And, you know, this could be as bad as, like, letting Terran get planetary map control, honestly. And there we have the first Broodlords. The problem is that there's no protection here. You know, the Broodlords don't really have anywhere to run. And look at this. A lot of energy. Changelings sent out everywhere across the map. Each one going to take a different location. But again, Machine looks like he's kind of in a bad spot because the mothership's going to be on its way too. The Archons are out. If this base gets established, I mean, this one is going to be hard to crack. Third cannon going down. Nice wall of cannons here as well. This would be good for Machine if he could actually deny this. There's a cancellation on everything. Besides, he wants all that money back. And should get a cancel here. Uh-oh. Watch yourself. He's not going to get a cancel. He's going to go ahead and force it back. Probe's heading on over, and here's the mothership up to the top, already starting to pool some energy. And this being up here is going to be so important. I mean, right now, In Control does not need his mothership. He's got 5 Colossus. He's got more on the way. He's actually researching Storm right now. So the mothership just pooling energy right now is going to be perfectly fine. And at this point, he can maybe take it into the main, go for some sort of recall play. How many Corruptors do we have out right now? We don't actually have that many Corruptors because he's been building Broodlords. There we have several more coming out right now. Take a look at the unit counting station, up to 4. And let's take a quick look at the upgrades here. 3-0. So a really kind of unorthodox style here for Machine as he decides to go all carapace at this point. But we see 2-3 now for the Protoss. Is there some vision? Oh my gosh, there's one Overseer right here. He's going to need a few more. The income, I imagine, has got to be skyrocketing. 1,800 right now. Uh-oh, the mothership's moving out. He does have both Recall and Vortex available. And there's the Fungal. Revealing some units. First Broodlord's going to be blinked forward and died. He really needs to get that detection in here. Focusing down that mothership now. But even if he does, there's still a huge ground force left. A lot of Colossus as well. And there the mothership finally goes down. But are there enough Corruptors? 2 Broodlords attacking from the back. There's a Vortex taking out the remainder of those Broodlords. 2 in the back. 2 over here as well. Some of those Infestors go down. And I'm actually surprised that Machine's army did as well as it did. Oh, why are you moving forward, Broodlords? There's actually nothing to attack. Oh, yes, there's still a few Stalkers down here. But there's no more Stalkers left. These 2 Stalkers have to kill these Broodlords. Otherwise, Machine will be able to kill all of this. There we have another one going down. Oh, my. I mean, twice now, Machine has somehow managed to stay alive. He clears out everything, but look at this force of Zealots heading on down. Oh, this is going to be so bad for this base. Machine really needs this base right now. There's 6 more Corruptors, 2 Infestors on the way. More Corruptors coming over, wishing that they could help the Broodlords slowly but surely making their way over. And just with the amount of gateways and potential support that EG.Control has here, he insta-recreates his army, already back up to 166. Of course, Machine going to be a little bit slower. He's sitting on quite a bit of Larva 19, but unfortunately it is his income that is suffering, and he's really got to already dedicate a lot to these Tier 3 units between the Broodlords and all these Corruptors. I feel like he should probably only make a couple more Broodlords, and, you know, because this is a pretty... It's still, well... I don't know. There's only 2 Colossus remaining. There are a ton of High Templar, though. They're going to have so many storms by the time this next engagement happens. More Broods coming out. He's going to leave his Corruptor count at 6. I mean, there's some transfuses. Keep those guys. I feel if Machine doesn't win this next battle convincingly and somehow... Oh, my God. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, there's no way he's going to be able to break this. Maybe with the Broods, but he'll just warp in a bunch of Stalkers at that point, I feel like. All right, we're just going to let this fight play out. It is literally going to be Broodlords, Corruptors, and a couple of Infestors. There's no ground army at all, and he's going to go ahead and try to force a fight by assaulting this base. I actually like this because it is a pretty nasty choke right here, but he should definitely focus on these cannons, which he does right away. Uh-oh, oh, here it comes, the feedbacks, and the storm's going down, but the Templar will fall, and the storms actually just soften up those Broodlords. The question is, where's that mothership coming from? Here it is, it's coming up from the side. It's only got 63 energy, so at most he's just going to be able to help Cloak. There are a couple of Overseers back here, and look at this, the siege is going to be successful. Oh no, more storms on top, he's not doing anything. Try to move those Broodlords back. There's the blink forward, trying to kill now the very, very weakened Broodlords. The blink forward by the Stalker was a good idea, but these Infestors are simply not enough to hold. And once again, EG.Control takes the lead, this time on a much, much better economical stability. And Machine, wow, Machine, is he going to be, he's going to be in danger of getting 3-0'd here. We've just got some Infestors with no energy. There's nothing he can do. I mean, there it is. GG!